Yeah.
Hey, Josh, guess what we're using?
All right. So on to our next topic, and this actually be 10 minutes because we got a lot of other stuff to talk about other stuff on here, as you can see at the top. And this is about the Xbox One X. So give me a second here as I make a transition.
I know absolutely nothing about this launch. I know that it came out.
Oh yeah, it definitely did. It definitely did. Give me 1 second.
But that's honestly as far as I know. I didn't know if there was any like controversy or people are like not liking it as much or what. So interested in this one.
Yep. Okay. So timer is set. All right. So let me bring up this article. All right. So the Xbox, for those who don't know, the Xbox One X was launched this past week. And it, begs questions like, should I get it? Should gamers hop onto this next version of the Xbox One X, and so on and so on. So there's a lot of detailed reporting out there. Digital Foundry did actually a fantastic job of displaying like this is how it looks, and this is how Halo 5 looks in Xbox One, Xbox One X. From my offset of what I've seen so far, like it looks crispier. And it looks more detailed, to about maybe 10% more than the actual game is. I don't think it's a huge difference, but it looks cool, to say the least. But I'm going to just read a little bit here of the review. This is off of TheVerge.com. This is written by Tom Warren. The Xbox One X review. The most powerful console is here. For the first time I powered up the Xbox One X, I generally thought my house was falling down. Microsoft's boot up animation is bright, loud, and full of surround sound bass, perfectly epitomizing the bombastic nature of the company's true 4K gaming message.
I like how he threw that in on the second part instead of just saying like, I had my surround on.
Microsoft's Xbox One X is the world's most powerful console, and the company is beating its chest about its 4K capabilities. Microsoft has lots of reasons it needs to be this bold. Sony is winning the console war, backed by the massive exclusive titles like The Last of Us, Uncharted 4, and Horizon Zero Dawn. The original Xbox One had a hard time competing with Sony PlayStation 4, thanks initially to the lower specifications and a bundled Connect that led to a $100 price gap. Microsoft is answering those old complaints with a new Xbox One X. It's a smaller, sleeker, faster console than the original, and it's easily more compatible and more capable than the PS4 or PS4 Pro, Sony's 4K console, in terms of raw power. And then, just to follow that up with another story, as I post this in the chat for those who want to read the entire review, which I suggest you guys do if you guys are curious about the Xbox One X. But this comes off of Eurogamer.net, written by Winsley Yinpu. Xbox One X comes hand in hand with massive downloads. If you plan on downloading games onto your fancy new Xbox One X, be ready for some truly gargantuan file sizes.
Gargantuan.
Gargantuan. Wait, is this? Hang on a second. Huh?
Oh, where we
Okay, there it
playing
goes.
Detective? What is that? Okay, all right.
No. It's just like it wasn't going on screen. It's like, why is this up at 9 minutes?
Oh, gotcha.
I've been downloading games on our Office Xbox One X for a couple weeks now, and some of the sizes for games I've seen are truly eye-watering. Fueled by 4K Xbox One X updates, game downloads on Microsoft's new console push and sometimes exceed 100 gigabytes. The Coalition's Gears of War 4, for example, weighs in at a whopping 103 gigabytes. 343's Halo 5 is at 98.26 gigabytes
what in the fresh fuck?
Without its 4K update, which adds another 15 gigs on top. Turn 10's Horizon Gaming Forza 7 is 95.65 gigabytes. You're pretty much getting what I'm going with this. Which I'll say this because it makes total sense, because what you're doing is you are getting files that are massively huge that are in 4K resolution. And
I'm just flabbergasted by how big those are.
Oh, definitely. And the thing about that too that may cause an issue is that, especially with some ISP providers, especially Comcast and other providers,
the same thing.
Yeah, who have data caps. you have to be really pick and choose. It's like, do I download this, this game or this 4K version for this month, or do I wait until, another version just comes out, or do I go to the library and download via their Wi-Fi or connection? So for Xbox One X owners who maybe want to get it, be warned. Like, it's gonna be, files are gonna be pretty huge if you choose to do the 4K, because they also have like other versions, like the HDR version if they have it on the game. Outside of 4K, they could also be another version. I forgot what it's called. But in general, these files are going to be huge, and I know that size in a hard drives in Xbox One X can only be so huge, or it's going to be so big. But it's pretty much pick your poison when it comes to that point. So
we talked about this before with when they announced it. It's an option. It's absolute, and even more so now with how big these downloads are. Like, you have to know what you're getting into, and I'm glad that there's actual reporters reporting on that information. Like, that's good information, guys.
Oh yeah,
that's solid.
is.
That's solid, rock solid information. I would definitely say, if you like, because Comcast has an upload limit, meaning like from what I've seen, it doesn't have a download limit.
Good point. I know, because they have like I think it was like 2 terabytes is their limit for upload.
Something like that, and that would mean you have to like stream for a long time in order to even hit that, even get close. Or for like the whole month, 24/7.
Yeah, or if you're like me and my family, and the fact that we cut the cable finally, but now we're watching everything on PlayStation View, and we're using the internet all the time, so and streaming all the time, so yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's just my thought process on how big those downloads are is it's more on the idea of, if you do have a data cap for your internet provider, that's kind of shitty. But I'm thinking more in the line of like, it takes me. Josh, are you saying 1,000 gigabyte upload or download? Because like, if it's download, I've hit that limit.
I think we all have.
When I download a game on the Xbox and it's like 50 gigabytes, it takes, and I have like 200 down speed. It takes like a solid half an hour. So I imagine like these hefty fucking that's really interesting. How have I not hit that?
Interesting.
I'm gonna look at mine because I have the account thing on my phone right now. But but yeah, when I download a game that big, like, it takes a while. It's not super quick. So like, I'm interested to see how that'll play out. I'm interested to see, like, because in the future, like when we get to the point where let's say 4K becomes the new standard, like, are all games going to be that big?
I would assume so. If we're going as far as like history-wise to the trajectory of how big games get, it's getting bigger every time. Like, we started out with like the, I'm gonna go date myself, like, the original Nintendo, with like size of like 20 megabytes maybe, or even less than that, to the point where like,
just sorry to interrupt you again, but looking at my data caps to internet stuff here.
Yeah.
I do have a cap of 1,024 gigabytes.
Yep.
However, the highest I ever gotten was 600 gigabytes.
Ah, I see. Interesting.
Yeah. So if like, oof. Then again, dude, like I don't know.
Games.
I can see this being a problem, but I don't know if it will be. That's my thing.
I think for now it isn't. I think in the future it probably will be, because of the size of these games are getting bigger and bigger. Not only just money wise, but in terms of size of how these games are being made.
Yeah.
Not to mention that, like, even if you do buy the disc, you still need to install some of it on your hard drive via online.
Oh yeah, you need to install almost the whole game on your hard drive to make it fast. Like, so That's gonna be fun to figure out in the future.
Yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna be another war that I think that the game industry is gonna have eventually have to talk.
Well, you know,
about.
I know that other internet providers don't have that big of or that small of a data cap. Like I know that like a couple friends who have AT&T have a much higher data cap, and like Josh said, like their business internet probably has a higher data cap.
Right.
But sorry, I was reading Valera's comment. Well, that's because you downloaded it over Wi-Fi. But yeah, I absolutely see this being an issue if like things don't change with internet providers down the line.
Agreed. And with 5 seconds to spare, awesome. Or in my case, 0 at this point. Yeah.